There's Blake Laurie, captain the Dragons a couple of weeks back. And down in Wollongong, they are historically hard to beat, but this year, I suppose there's probably no surprise given their winning record. They've lost the last 3 at the venue and conceded 102 points in those games. Stefano Utoikamanu, you saw him on screens, his 50th NRL game tonight. So round 21 action underway here on Nine's wide world of sports. The Tigers and the Dragons with plenty to play for, and pride being one of the key elements there. Utoikamanu outside the 10, now Clemmer, who's played every game in Tigers colours in 2023. Oh, and he's got a grimace on his face there as he gets up from the second tackle of the game. Now, Fanua Polet has come into the starting team. He was actually left out of the 17 before Sean Bloor was injured in the warm-up, which to an outsider, I suppose is somewhat surprising given the impact he's had. He's probably been amongst their best players and only very much in the infancy of his NRL career, as Wakeham clears after 5 tackles for the Tigers, and it's taken by the returning Tyrell Sloan, who had 3 weeks out with a calf injury.
Yeah, injuries and warm-ups. How does that happen? It seems like the last half a dozen years the players get injured in warm-ups.
Maybe there's a lesson in that. Jacob Little, Francis Molo and Talatau Amone over the halfway where he's confronted by Bateman. Good quick play the ball. They went very deep there to DeBellin, and now Ben Hunt. And he played lock for Queensland off the bench for the bulk of the time on the field in Origin 3. And taken by David Nofaluma, and a penalty here to the West Tigers. They were in front of the kicker and didn't retire the 10 metres. It's tonight the night for Noffa. He's on 99 NRL try. Oh, in fact, he's on 99 tries for the West Tigers, so he's hoping to become the first try-scoring Centurion for the club. Good evening, Phil Gould.
Matthew, how you doing?
Very well.
I agree. Warm-ups are overrated. Back in my day, you just shook your legs and ran out.
Yeah.
None of this warming up stuff. Danica?
Yes, that was when Sean Bloor did the injury. He was strapped, though, going into the warm-up, so we can read into that what we think. But, yeah, a big blow for the Tigers just minutes before they were due out onto the field with Sean Bloor succumbing to that quad injury. So it does now mean that Fanua Polet gets his time in action tonight.
Well, he's been pretty dynamic in recent weeks, Sean Bloor. As Laurie, who's playing his second game at 5'8" for the Tigers now, gives it away to Papali'i. And a team that was flogged by North Queensland up in Townsville. Dane Laurie actually had a really good game in his only other appearance in the 6. The ball hits the deck from Utoikamanu. Now Bateman, an offload, and Wakeham is wrapped up here in a bear hug tackle by Moses Sully, and little part of that also. To Laurie down the right-hand short side. High in the air, Nofaluma chasing. Sloan's back there. 13 tries in 29 career games before tonight for the agile and fleet-footed young Dragons fullback, Tyrell Sloan. And now Lomax, and across to Ben Hunt, who sells a big dummy to Talau, and then Laurie got across to make the tackle. Alana, your sideline for us this evening. Is it a wee bit frosty down in Wollongong?
I am, and I tell you, it was very chilly this morning, so I came well and truly prepared. It's actually not too bad at the moment. 13 degrees feels like 9, but there's not much of a breeze around, so perfect for conditions. I think for these two footy teams, great to see Ben Hunt playing for the Dragons, but this could be an entertaining game of footy.
Well, as I said, the recent records, nothing between them. Single-figure margins, both games last year, and the match in Magic Round was an absolute thriller. The Tigers led, and Michaeli Ravalawa threatened to score right on the full-time siren, and he was only denied by a Jareem Buller try-saver.
They're talking about Ben Hunt. You'd think tonight he may be the difference. He's a player with Origin experience, especially in those key areas.
NRL game 306. Polly playing it now to Coruscant, who scampers through the middle. Great news for the Tigers today, with Api re-signing with the club until the end of season 2026.
That's a big vote of confidence, isn't it? Been saying for ages they've got a good young team emerging here. To have their chief playmaker and senior player, Api Coruscant, that's a big vote of confidence for him to extend his contract like that.
Now Michaeli Ravalawa, 7 tries in his last 5 games. And for Lomax, who finished that game against the Raiders a couple of weeks back at fullback, and he was a handful.
He was a handful. He was a handful all night. They got plenty of ball to him on that right side. He scored 3 tries in 7 minutes, all on the back of Lomax's brilliance in attack.
I wondered, clearly Sloan is a player of immense potential, Andrew. I wondered whether they might have thought about keeping Lomax.
I think all in on Sloan. He's got to be their fullback moving forward. For me, in the right team and the right attack, I think Lomax would be a really good fighter. Really good fighter.
Sort of look more dangerous the more ball he gets. Now a nice little pass here. Oh, it's been coughed up by Nofaluma.
That's the first error of the game. They might be down the bottom of the ladder, these two, but they've put a big premium on this 2 competition points. Neither side wants to be the loser here tonight. That'll lead to a little bit of desperation when we get to the back half of the game, but right now they're virtually playing with semi-final intensity, trying to control the ball. Nofaluma comes up with the first fumble.
Well, Nofaluma's talking to Api Coruscant about challenging it. Api said, get back to your wing.
Well, if you were confused about who's calling the shots, the West Tigers at the moment, you could see who was front and centre with the headset on, and the wily old veteran Tim Sheen standing back right in the coach's box.
He's the coach to move the Tigers forward, Benji, without a doubt. He's the man.
So it's a new look back row for the Dragons. Here's Dan Russell in his second NRL game. Made a debut off the bench against the Raiders a couple of weeks back. Ben Hunt away to DeBellin. Goes to Armone, and there's a shot. Boom. Sloan feels the brunt of Nofaluma, who came racing in from the wing.
Yeah.
Now Molo.
It was great experience there from Nofaluma. Just waited for the right pass and then swooped in.
DeBellin towards the posts. Hunt through a big gap. Oh, he flung the ball out. I think he was trying to reach out to get it down, but the ball came out of his possession.
And that's his go-to play for space. Dummy, right foot step. Gets through. Papali'i, great desperation. Probably would have got over there himself once he was on the swinging around. I think, what did Rabs used to call that? The hurdy-gurdy.
Hurdy-gurdy. Oh, Rabs was here this morning. Looking great, fit. At the top of his game, Rabbits. Great to see him.
Be at home sipping on a shardy.
Yep.
Him and Snoop Dogg.
Mr. Dog.
One of the great stories involving Rabs and Snoop Dogg.
Yeah. Who'd have thought? Who'd have thunk it? Stafford top, playing the ball. Oh, there's another big shot. An offload from Stefano, though, and a little bit of room out on the left-hand side for the Tigers. It's with Tommy Talau. See, they're rushing up. He crept up a bit high, though, Jack DeBellin. They can do this, the Dragons. They can sting in defence when they're focused as a unit. We've seen them bash a couple of teams.
See this play here. Offload, and then the shifts come off the offload. I think this is the way the Tigers have got to look to play with Dewey and Brooks out. Their set plays and their structured plays pretty predictable and easy to defend. But if they play that power game and get some offloads, your shifts can come off the offloads.
Now Clemmer runs towards Jacob Little. Some help from Billy Burns, who's at left back row for the Dragons this evening. And Francis Molo there also. Waker Goes into the line, and Laurie, well, he wanted Papali'i to be in the gap, but it might work out nicely. Tupou bumps away from 2 tackles and scores.
Coming into 3.
Well, plan A didn't work, but plan B turned out all right.
Might be the plan B. Look to play and just throw it on the ground. But Dane Laurie playing out of position. I like that he's playing in first grade, Dane Laurie. Harvey Norman replay. Bit of X factor and Dane Laurie. Looks to play short, but it misses everyone. And then gets out wide to Tupou. Great finish. He's got some potential, this young man.
He's a very powerful ball runner, this young Tupou. What's this? Cornered, but bang. Pushes Sloan out of the way. Muscles his way into the in goal. Amazing how many tries are scored when a ball hits the ground. It really does put the defence in 2 minds. And a stroke of fortune, but sometimes you need that.
So he came into this match this evening with 64 tackle breaks in the year in 15 games. He is a big, strapping winger.
Big, strong boy.
Oh, yeah.
Bit of a rugby background.
Well, he's looking to play short here. And Isaiah Papali'i just overruns the play a little bit. Look at this young man. Brendan Wakeham. Is it 20 straight he's going for?
Oh.
I put the mock on Kalen last week.
I'm not getting involved.
He's going for 20 straight. Brendan Wakeham. If he gets this now, he's a genius. With the biggest mock in the world.
He's carrying immortal weight. You've done another one.
Oh, that was the worst kick in history.
Terrible.
What was that first play? Yeah.
I suppose if you're going to break your streak, you may as well miss it by 10 metres or so.
Sorry, Brent.
He was none. Not a hope in the world. 4-0 Tigers. There's a graft and run. Big Stefano. But now Bateman. Little and Laurie bring him down, just short of the 30-metre line. Coruscant for Clemmer.
It's a real confidence builder for the Tigers, the young fellas. They tend to go better when they're out in front. So they score first tonight. You can see there what sort of spark it's put into their movement at the moment.
Coruscant, he's all class.
Great run.
You've got to play off him more.
It's a good set after points. Laurie with a tantalising kick. Buller's coming through. Well taken, Ravalawa. He loves that. The duck and run. Api Coruscant. That's his specialty. Amone. Put some footwork on Bateman. Oh, he got bent over. Oh, no. He's grimacing.
He's right.
Oh. By contrast with their previous set from the West Tigers, the Dragons finding yards hard to come by here. Molo, 6 short from the halfway line. And Ben Hunt kicking towards the southern end of Wynn Stadium. Buller with the catch. And back comes our try scorer, Junior Tupou. Part of a very youthful Tigers outfit. He's in his early 20s, as is this man, Jareen Buller. In fact, he might be 19, Buller. Played it quickly. Here's Nopper. Making good territory up the centre of the park. Bateman now. He offloads. Went past Stefano, but it was picked up by Jareen Buller. averaging 180 metres and 20 runs a game in his maiden NRL season. Laurie Papali'i, Talau v Hunts. Up to the 20. Tigers on top here. They go back to the short side where it all began, and it comes unstuck. Laurie wanted to try and pop it to the left, but he was crowded up by the defence, and it's a changeover.
This is a Benji Marshall play. This is from the old playbook. Last tackle, throw the ball in field, and then go back through to play the ball. Dragons were awake to it, though. They knew what was coming. Benji Marshall, he loved those sort of plays as a player. Always at you.
And those plays work when you've got a centre and marker. So if the centre gets in marker and chases, they're always short in that short side.
Here he is again.
Dummy and run.
Laurie and DeBellin. They're trying to find a bit of territory out on that left-hand side. It might have just moved a fraction slow through the hands.
Yeah, they're not coming onto the ball anywhere with near the zest of the Tigers at the moment.
Ben Hunt out the back to Sloan. Backhanded pass for Avalawa. Well done, Dane Laurie. Got over there and helped out with Tupou. Whoa. You're not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to do that. That might be a professional foul.
Well, there's a bit of argy-bargy in back play. After Talau tackled Sloan, there was some push and shove, and then
Wait, you've got a penalty. Don't go doing something silly.
Sloan tried to get away, and then Talau wouldn't let go. He'll flick it out the back. Bit of push and shove.
He wanted to get in the dummy half.
Yeah.
Well, really,
He should be in the bin, shouldn't he?
well, Sloan gets up and grabs him first.
McKaylee,
I know Talau's held on to him, but
don't come in. Don't come in.
Gee, that's...
Come in.
That is every bit the professional foul when you consider he never retired the 10 metres, obviously, and then took the man who was trying to get the dummy half out. Anyhow, penalty Dragons.
Hold here, front foot.
And Russell had a big contingent of family and friends to see his NRL debut at the age of 27, a couple of weeks back down on this very ground. Now Molo. Papali'i the tackler. Ben Hunt and Amone tries to sneak through. Sloan off a glorious ball. Well, there's a bit of Benji Marshall about that.
He gets the ball in two hands, Amone, and it's double pump, double punt. And what he's doing, he's waiting for the defender to react. Just watch how he's holding this ball. Harvey Norman Rupe. Watch the double pump, and he's watching Toh. He's watching the outside backs. They hold off. Wakeham takes the dummy, and then he gets through and then finds Sloan with a beautiful flick. But it's the double pump, ball in two hands, that makes the defence, makes him second guess himself. Look at that. Class.
yeah, that comes from playing together as teenagers, training and playing together for a number of years. You watch Sloan know exactly where to be. Sloan will come from the outside to get back for the flick pass on the inside.
Oh, wow.
Normally you'd look for the left-hand side of the body for the right-hand pass, offload. Sloan knew to be back to the inside, that it was more likely Amone would flick it out that way than look for a conventional pass to his left. That's combination. Alana?
Combination, two right, Gus. It just looked like time slowed down a little bit for those two. The timing of that play was absolutely brilliant. We get to have another look at it here. The timing of both of them, even just to hold this footy up, but they struggled to get territory. They needed that penalty, the Dragons.
What's that? Time you run.
Dragons fans are hoping that's a portal to the future. Amone with silky skills to this prodigiously talented fullback, Tyrell Sloan.
That was beautiful commentary from Alana Ferguson there. Time slowed down for both players. How descriptive. Time slowed down.
Very good.
I'm going to use that and pretend it's mine.
I'll make sure he gives you a credit there, Alana.
Is that a Madonna song?
Oh, ball. Oh, he put it down, Sloan. He would have hoped time slowed down.
Well, time was going fast then.
Time sped up there. The clock was racing.
Time? What's that song?
That's Kylie Minogue. I know the one you're thinking of.
No. Gwen Stefani?
Oh.
Is that her? Gwen Stefani. Big Dragons fan, Gwen.
Yeah.
Loves them. Loves them.
Kylie Minogue watched the West Tigers. Both be watching tonight, no doubt. Laurie feeding it. Coruscant right through Wakeham. Now Stafford Todd, who's been ultra consistent with the Tigers this year. Clemmer for Toika Manu. Heavy involvement throughout the first 19 minutes for the New South Wales Origin representative, Bateman. And Tyre. Covered up okay. Billy Burns has got some blood dripping from the mouth. Coruscant slips out a bit wider. And goes to Clemmer. Oh, DeBello. That's his bulldozing tackle technique. Drove him back. Wakeham, Clemmer again.
Getting through some work, Clem.
Wakeham's kick is might have ended up on the Princess Highway back to Heathcote.
Front feet here. Front feet. Front feet.
Much too much on that one.
So Lomax, he's not shirking these tough runs coming out of yardage. And Ravalawa. The Dragons with 2 wins in their last 13 games. Incredible.
They're very bunched here, the Dragons, coming out of trouble. They're all just walking around behind the play the ball. No one really charging onto the ball. Just starting to spread out a little now.
Francis Molo, a veteran of a couple of origins for Queensland. Tackled by Big Stefano. Now Hunt accelerates. Sloan onto the ball. There's 2 young Tyros colliding. Good tackle, Dane Laurie. Up and away and across the ground. Nofaluma took that simply in the end. He's had a couple of weeks out injured, David Nofaluma. Hasn't been seen actually since the thumping up in Townsville. It was an unhappy night for all of them, but Noffa had a real off evening. Tupou.
Well, this time last year, Nofaluma went to the Melbourne Storm. They traded him out. Went to the Storm. A fumble.
There's no communication there. It was the right play. They went wide. They got Ben Hunt involved in the tackle, which then opened up a short side with Ben Hunt out of position.
He just came to me, mate, right on time.
Wide pass. Get it Ben Hunt in the centre. Get them involved with the tackle and double up the same way.
Tigers are challenging the knock-on ruling.
And they're mounting a case here that this ball has gone backwards.
Dream Buller touches the ball. We're just trying to determine which direction the ball goes.
The game's #1 bunker girls here.
Dream Buller knocks the ball towards the opponent's dead ball line, which is a knock-on. The challenge is unsuccessful.
She's all over it, Casey Badger. She's all over it.
Okay.
See that? One look, done.
Happy. Challenge unsuccessful. No unremaining. Here, man.
Nice rapid for bunker, right?
She doesn't need 1,000 replays.
Okay, 3, you got that.
Looks at it once, makes a call. Done.
Back there.
Dragons on the attack now.
There. Okay, let's go, Jacob. Find him, mate. No, tighter. Jacob, tighter, mate.
6 players on the open side for the Dragons. Set play. No set play.
The front rower gets it instead.
And did nothing with it.
Cabela eating up the work early. Hit hard by Papali. Ian Stefano with Toikamanu. That's the 20-metre line. The ball sent left by Little. And then Ben Hunt. And now Amone. Confronted by Wakeham. 15 metres out. Little and Sloan. And Ben Hunt with a kick for Lomax. Perfection. Glorious set piece. And he's right up for this, Zach Lomax. Great try.
Best kick chaser in the game. The best. The number of times he retrieves high kicks, low kicks, bouncing balls. Harvey Norman replay. Ben Hunt, perfectly timed. Lomax, no one in sight. He just gets himself in perfect position to regather that. And the little chip kick plays dividends.
Yeah, the key here, they looked like the ball was going wide, so the outside defenders of the Tigers, Tupou and Talau, had to come up, which then opened up that kick. And Ben Hunt, that was beautiful. Alana?
Executed perfectly, wasn't it, Joey? We're actually down here when the Dragons were warming up, and that was a carbon copy of exactly what they were doing. So absolutely no fluke. Again, great timing, but Ben Hunt, he's involving himself so well this half. We've seen a lot of his running game, choosing all the right options. Zach Lomax handled so well.
Yep, best kick chaser in the business.
I thought Jared Croker was the best.
He was, but he's getting towards the end. So he's got a...
He's handed the baton.
He's had a successor. Zach Lomax is the best kick chaser in the game today.
What about the hammer?
Don't argue with me.
He chased his own kicks well, the hammer.
Yeah. Right. Zach Lomax comes up with more results than any kick chaser in the game today. I'll stand by that.
I'm with you. He's found a little bit of goal kicking form at the moment too, Zach Lomax. Look at that. Straight between them. Been a good response from the Dragons after conceding the first try, and that was lovely bit of byplay with Hunt to Lomax. Good ball, and Lomax is there again. Gee, he is popping up all around the field. And Russell running hard.
Get up now. Straight on, Zaya.
Found a little bit of confidence here, the Dragons. Played by Michael Molo. Here's Billy Burns.
Plenty of ball movement by the Dragons, moving the defence around.
Hoisted by the skipper. And Buller under pressure at the back. Takes it well. Slipped out of an attempted tackle. Here's Noffa. They've been outscored, this Tigers outfit, 144-30 in their 3 games leading into tonight. They were improved last time around against Newcastle, though. They nagged away at them, and wasn't much in it in the end. Telstra has some of the best Defence in the business, tackling millions of cyber threats every day. A kick on tackle 4. Good scramble across the ground by Sloan. You could actually say the same about the Dragons' last start effort against the Raiders. They looked like they were gone. It looked like it was going to be anything. But they showed the fortitude to claw their way back into it, and they weren't too far away from snatching it in the end. And Lomax was a key element of that. She's been strong here. Hunt down the right-hand shorts, and Russell lost it. Oh, he's saying it's 6 again, Ben Hunt. He's appealing. Yeah, it's a knock-on against the West Tigers in the first instance.
Balls of speed then. He looked up.
I think coming into 5 here. Yeah, 4 into 5. Casey, captain's challenge.
He had a front rower in front
challenge
of
and
him.
knock-on, saying there's a touch there by the Tigers.
3 attackers, 3 defenders. And with his speed, he gets on the outside of the front rower. And Talau, I don't think he gets
Just
touched.
looking to determine if Tommy Talau touches the ball.
Now Russell, he drops the ball, but does it hit his knee? Doesn't get a touch.
There's no touch from Tommy Talau, and Dan Russell knocks the ball on. The challenge is unsuccessful.
Yeah, no touch, unsuccessful. No challenges remaining for either
She's
side.
all over at the bunker.
Like it. Okay, we've got a scrum here. Listen to me earlier.
So that's both challenges gone, isn't it?
Yeah.
This way there. Dane, I'll get him in
I've
first.
gone early.
This way. Okay, Tyrell, Ben, I need you locked in, mate. Hold there, mate.
Tigers got a
let's
winning
go.
record down in Wollongong.
Tyrell.
Really surprising,
Get in,
actually.
arms bound. Let's go.
6 games played between the clubs. Tigers 4 wins, Dragons 2. Historically,
Stafford Toa, I think that's his first touch. Can't remember him touching the ball. He's been a weapon this year, Stafford Toa. That game at Leichhardt, and they put 60. He terrorised Valentine Holmes that night.
he's played wing, centre and 5'8" this year.
And then last week, he gave Bradman best.
Yeah.
He gave him a hard time also.
Clemmer, Brandon Wakehurn, get it out there, and there's territory. Scooped up close enough to the ground by Nopper, who tries to run around them. He's come back the other way. Zigzag, zigzag penalty.
There might be some dramas here. The Fengai. He sees the threat, comes off his wing. Where does he hit Buller? Ooh, straight in the chin.
Well, presumably a high shot.
Okay.
No,
Put him on report.
no. Didn't happen.
Front foot here, Billy, Billy, Billy.
So tie. Down inside the 30. Everyone just Clemmer had so far in the game.
It's double figures for sure.
It's his 8th run, it's saying here.
It's good footwork. Pollard.
There's a real prospect for them. 15 out. They were appealing for a 6 again there. Ball goes to ground. Buller, no HIA. Slipped out of the tackle of Burns. Gets as far as Sully and Amone. 11 short. Waken across the ground. Clemmer overran it. Decided against passing. They get to play 5 now. Can they jag another set? Can they do better than that? Laurie digs to the in goal, chases himself. Beautiful kick.
Lovely play. Always felt this young man would grow into a 5'8" role. I think he's a very, very underrated player and still got his best football in front of him. Heading back to the Panthers, I believe.
He started the Panthers, didn't he?
I remember the highlights tape they sent me. We signed him from up northern New South Wales, Northern Rivers way, I think he was, but it was the best highlights tape I've seen from a young teenager ever. It was freakish. He was playing half and 5'8" in those days.
Yes, well, with the interest in Jack Cogger, were he to move on from the Panthers, maybe Dane Laurie's the man to go back there and play that understudy role to Nathan Cleary and Jerome Luai.
Well, Sean O'Sullivan's done it. Jack Cogger's done it.
They come out better players, don't they?
Of course they do. Playing with a premiership winning team.
On report.
That's a chicken wing.
No, he's doing the jiu-jitsu thing. Trying to hold. They try to hold the plant arm when they're trying to play the ball.
You can demonstrate at half-time, Joey.
Yeah, I'll do it on Freddie.
Bateman. Across to Wakem. 17, a try-scoring guru, Alex Twiles on the ground. Wakem, Laurie changes direction as he catches the ball, but Hunt always very solid in defence. They've used 3 tackles. Is there more points coming here? Seyfarth on the ground. And he's all up-tempo and aggressive. 3 metres short. Coruscant. Wakem. Buller. A dummy. Toa slips through. Ball didn't hit the ground, so it's still alive. And good scramble there by St George Illawarra. That's Jack Bird on the park for the first time in a while. Play 5. Good ball. Wakem to Polly. Couldn't get a kick away.
Yeah, Ben Hunt there applauding his team's goal line defence. Some nice resilience there from the team with the big red V.
Here it is here. Now they'd like to hold that plant arm. Oh, that's got an awkward position. So they cannot get up and play the ball.
It's the game within a game. The wrestle.
John, square marker. Go 10, John. Go 10.
There's Bird. Missed from rounds 13 through 17, then came back, but was injured in that game and re-emerges tonight. So there is only his only involvements in, what, 8 weeks that is. Michael Molo, Jacob Little combining in defence. Wakem, away to Laurie. Good charge.
They've got to go the same way. Half back and centre at marker.
Laurie with room. We know how quick he is. Laurie burns them. Seyfarth saying he was held back there. He gets the ball in the end. He's dragged down by Amone. Gee, that was impressive by Laurie from dummy half. And he's there again. Swings it left this time. Talau straight up for Papali'i. Well, Ben Hunt gets over there to inconvenience his run. Then Lomax. Play 5. Tupou shovels it away. Wakem up in the air. Toa's going to leap. I think it's touched the dragon hand. It's 6 more tackles. Seyfarth's got the ball back. Away to Laurie, who started all of this. And he's put down 3 metres out. They'll be hard to hold out here, you fancy. Penalty. Oh, he's in the bin. Wow.
Was it last week Tim Sheens was critical of his team for not attacking enough when the Knights were down to 12 players? I think it's a good decision.
I was talking to Tim Sheens today, and he said that the Tigers have had no problem getting up to the other end of the field, but have got a very poor record inside the opposition 20. Probably the worst in the league. Now, Luke Brooks not being there doesn't help, but I'm liking what Dane Laurie's doing.
He's got some real fizz about him, hasn't he? So far, he'll get there, will he? No! They've knocked him back again. Good grip by the Dragons, but they're tested again. Surely a try. Tupou gets his second. Oh, put it down. Over he goes, and they've jagged one a couple of seconds after Sloan's gone to the bin. 12 points to 8.
Sign of a good playmaker, good instincts when he knows when to just let the ball go or run. Dane Laurie out of dummy half. Harvey Norman replay. He's played big action in the last couple of minutes. Into the backfield, finds a pass. And it's this next pass that I really like. The fact that he knew not to run, not to take another step. Dane Laurie comes around, gets the ball, bang, and lets it go straight away. Look at that. That was the money ball.
Great instincts, isn't it? You could see the big Fijian coming from miles away. Now, I'm sure I heard Tim Sheens very critical of his team. I don't know if it was last week against the Knights or previous weeks, but the opposition was down to 12 men and they weren't attacking enough. So I dare say they've worked on that. So the next 8 or 9 minutes, and so it might be all out attack.
So just on Laurie, I mentioned that match against North Queensland, and look, they got absolutely annihilated, but it was his first game at 5'8" for the club. He made 28 tackles, only missed 2. He had 6 tackle breaks and had 34 touches of the ball. He was their best player by a mile.
Here goes Waken.
He's missed another one. Quite an enjoyable first half, this, and coming towards that 5-minute window until half-time. 2 tries each, goal kicking the difference. The Dragons 12-8, but they do have a Tyrell Sloan in the bin. And let's see whether the Tigers can take advantage of that.
Oh, let it go. What do you got to lose?
Oh, they're appealing that Little wasn't onside at marker. The referee let it slide. 12, Laurie, Papali'i, here you go, Talau, Tupou to Ravalawa. Great tackle, big Ravalawa. Oh, geez, he ball to get that back.
Good ball movement, plenty of room.
Safe again. He's always willing coming off the bench.
He's a good player.
Through the hands, Bateman, the defence retreated. Bateman away to Atasi James. His second NRL appearance. Safepath again, that was forward. Oh, he got jammed, but he got the ball away. Chance here, Coruscant, Talau, dummies, oh, Tommy! Yeah, Tupou unmarked.
That's it.
And it was the last tackle.
Hold out.
Mate, I'm sitting next to you. You don't have to look at me, scream at me. I know, it was last play.
I'm exasperated.
What's that mean?
Shocked.
Well, just stay shocked. A good play. They went sideline to sideline, ran the ball in the last play, plenty of offloads.
I'd never get it.
That were I'm used to it.
He's Molo.
I'm immune to it.
Well, the Dragons need half time by the look of it at the moment, down to 12 men and holding on to a slender lead. It's about where you expected this game to be, isn't it? Neither side has won a lot this year, and There's a lot to play for tonight. Whoops, whoops, whoops. He's got it. Good run.
Oh, lovely movement.
He's a good player.
He nearly got through that gap.
Even that ball, it juggled it, and he didn't panic. He had the soft hands, just regathered it.
Well, he considered a career in basketball. He actually took a break from the game to consider a basketball career, and then realised how much he loved rugby league and came back.
I'm sure he had Greg Inglis on the Sunday Footy Show as Bateman comes wide.
Good tackle.
And Greg convinced him to come back to rugby league. I'm sure Greg said.
Here's a Tarsi James, the Tyson Frizzell lookalike. Laurie, kick hits the deck. Ravalawa gets up after plucking it off the ground. Here's Lomax. He's gone over the 100-metre mark in the first half.
He's been very involved, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Keep going.
Oh, there's a good ball. Amone away to Fine.
He's been great, Amone. Real running 5'8", real threat with the ball.
Little one-handed scoop and run. Dragons inside Tiger territory now. The crowd thought Nofaluma held on too long there. Michael Molo. I can't believe how much it looks like Tyson Frizzell, Tarsi James. Here, ball goes up in the air. Hunt, he was felled by Papali'i. It was knocked on by Lomax, and the referee, he's happy enough with the contest on the kicker. Ben Hunt's not.
Tyson's brother, he plays for the All Blacks.
Yeah.
He scored a try last week.
This is going to be exciting at the back end. I can just see where this is going. Both sides desperate for a win.
Keep going.
Good ball. Good defence, Hunt again. And Bird, a couple of big tackles by Jack Bird since he's been on the park. On both sides of the ground, actually. Laurie, Tupou, the wing wide open. Where's the support? Tupou's there by himself. He kicks over the top. Coruscant, what a try! The big winger with a deft kick.
Well, once again, Dane Laurie scheming down short sides. This is when you earn your money as a half, playing short sides. There's a real art to it. Harvey Norman replay. Dane Laurie gets the ball in the advantage line, gets over the advantage line. The outside defence panics. Sort of back yourself, but kicks inside. And Abby Coruscant. Great support on the inside. Abby has played all minutes, hasn't had a rest. 18 tackles and schemed around the ruck, but still there. Still got the petrol to get down the middle, and great kick.
Oh.
But he'd be happy, Tim Sheens, last week against the Knights, when Jack Hetherington got binned. He challenged his team to play more footy when they were binned. They've scored 2 tries since Sloan's been off.
Brilliant stuff. Dane Laurie again. Got wonderful vision, that boy. Great attacking footballer. And Abby Coruscant just trundling up the middle of the field. Just wait for the ball to come back my way.
So the Tigers set to lead the game here at half-time. They scored first, then they were down 12-4.
Well, the last 2 times they've scored first, they've won. They've only scored first on 3 occasions this year, tonight, and 2 others. The other 2 times they won.
And they're ahead at half-time in Thursday night footy from Wynn Stadium, 14-12. 14-12, Tigers over the Dragons, heading into the second half in Thursday night footy. Tomorrow night, how about this? An absolute belter. The Rabbitohs take one of their home games on the road to Sunshine Coast Stadium. They will play the Broncos. Latrell unfortunately won't line up. They give him an extra week. 7:30 p.m. right here on Nine's Wide World of Sports. It will be a beauty with Latrell aside. Origin stars back for Souths, and also Reece Walsh and Payne Haas for Brisbane. So the second half underway. On the subject of South Sydney, I'm sure Phil Gould and the players will be buoyed tomorrow evening by the news that probably the most influential figure and most revered figure at the South Sydney club, the great George Piggins, was elevated to the NRL Hall of Fame at a special event at the City Cricket Ground yesterday. Alongside him, also legendary journalist Ian Heads, also inducted to the NRL's Hall of Fame.
Absolutely, Ian Heads, a journalist from the old school. He was a journalist of great honesty and integrity. He was a fair man, highly respected. He was a truth seeker, a promoter of individuals and the game. Very well liked. And George Piggins, of course, player, coach, administrator, saviour. What a great man he is. What a great man he was for the game of rugby league and for the South Sydney club. George Piggins, he'll never be forgotten, and two very well-deserved inductees into the Hall of Fame.
Congratulations to both men and their families, I'm sure. And they're beaming with pride.
Malcolm really used to tell stories about playing against George. Quite hostile between them two, I understand.
Well, they had a famous clash, didn't they?
They didn't like each other. They didn't like each other.
I don't think on the field Malcolm didn't like too many people by the sound of it.
He actually, one of the stories yesterday is Malcolm really, notwithstanding that rivalry, made a trip from the UK over to Australia to celebrate a milestone for George Piggins in, I don't know if it was recent years, but it was an occasion which he travelled across the world for, so obviously great respect between two warriors of the football field. Ravalawa in possession now for the Dragons.
Gave him some teeth back when he knocked there.
They were hard men. For those of you who don't know who Malcolm really is, I'm sure you can get some of his old vision on YouTube. He was a wonderful player.
So 13 on 13. Tyrell Sloan back out there. And the Tigers went from trailing to leading with him off the field. Here's Little.
Two pretty pumped up dressing rooms at half time. This is exactly where I thought this game would be. I think we're in for a really thrilling finish.
What a great tackle. That was Dane Laurie.
How good's he been?
Watch his timing here.
Where would you like it, Appy?
Watch his footwork with his defence, but watch the timing. Sees the threat, gets his feet in close. Look at that timing. That's old school. Get in low, cut him in half.
He'll just keep getting better and better, Dane Laurie, right throughout his career. He'll gain in confidence, and someone will gain confidence in him.
Okay, let's go. There's no clock.
He's just looking for a coach to back him. That's all he wants. That's all he needs.
He's from Yamba, isn't he? He's from Yamba?
Oh, I thought it was Northern Rivers somewhere.
John, let's go. Appy. Tyrone, hold there, mate.
Up near the McLean there somewhere. I'll check it out.
Good footballers in that. New South Wales. Coruscant scheming left. Laurie back to the right. And through Buller, and now Itasi James. He's been trundling away in the New South Wales Cup for a while, Itasi James, and it's an opportunity in the NRL now. His second game, he's safe up.
Grafton, Dane Laurie.
Laurie to Lau. Tupou already with 2 tries. They're appealing for obstruction, and they're going to get it.
Dane Laurie's hometown is Iluka. Where's Iluka?
Just over the river from Yamba.
What river
North.
is that?
Clarence River, is that what it's called? Cross the break wall. They haven't found touch. Yes, they have found touch. Yeah, cross the break wall.
Iluka.
The Iluka River. It's like the Wollongong Ocean.
That's what Fatty calls it.
So Lomax playing the ball, and working it now is Michael Molo.
Right back in the hole, Tommy. Line him up.
Burns. Wrapped up by 12. Right through Jacob Little. Here's Jack Bird. And on to Ben Hunt. And Sloan slips away from Talau's attempted tackle. They're down inside the 10 here. Laurie again at the forefront of the Tigers' defence. It goes to Ben Hunt. And Bird, who's playing at lock now. And Amone! Whack! Toa with a front-on shot. It's a trap and scrap territory. It's picked up by Buller and it's play on. Gee, that was a good tackle by Toa. And Nofaluma shifting away to Seyfarth.
Here's a replay, bottom of the screen.
Ooh.
Great tackle.
Oh. Trippo again. Plenty of Dragons over there, but good enterprise by the Tigers nonetheless. Now 12. Inside the Dragons' half. And James, he runs hard.
He knows his job.
Super athlete. Big, strong. Wakeham. Hoist it into the air. Oh!
Well, that's Bateman.
Bateman off the boot and caught it. The referees found something wrong with it. Oh, Laurie was offside.
Well, this is pretty clever.
He's inside the 10, and the ball doesn't travel 10.
I'd imagine every kid in England at some stage played with a soccer ball. What's this?
Oh, that's all time.
Do that and play fair. That was brilliant.
With me, come on, here.
I don't know how John Bateman would go playing soccer.
He might have been a bit.
A lot of red cards.
Might have been a bit rugged for the soccer coach.
I'm sure he's going to go at it. (16) Toby Couchman. It's been lost from dummy half.
Well, Abby Coruscant here deliberately, as he consoles the opposition dummy half. He plays at the arm. Ball in two hands. You saw this in Origin with Harry Grant. That plays at the arm. Stephen Crichton got a result out of that. Abby Coruscant, smart work. Ball in two hands. Pulls hard at the forearm. Really smart play.
Now you need to be at Belmore Sports Ground on Saturday, July 30 for an epic NRLW double-header. The Knights take on the Cowboys, followed by the Tigers v Sharks. Tickets start from $10 and the kids get in for free. A great day of footy. Head to nrl.com/tickets now. Now, how is your emerging student Jesse Southall going, Andrew?
We're ready to go.
Are you keeping that close to your chest?
Yeah.
Been working on anything?
Kicking going.
Yeah.
You said big kicking going.
Home of NRLW. Right here on 9, all 48 games. All kicks off Saturday. Uppy. Split the markers, he's so good. And back to Wakeham. The Tigers on tackle 5 now through Laurie. Short pass, Papali'i. Oh, got a pass out the back there and Buller couldn't handle it.
20 metre. Hey? This way. You blew the whistle. Yeah. Where would you like the scrum? I'll blow the whistle.
Seyfarth is correcting the referee
Would you like to
here.
play the ball?
So he's knocked it on. The referee blew the whistle. Then Seyfarth has kicked it dead.
Yeah.
The referee wanted to give a 20-metre tap. He said, no. He said, you blew the whistle.
Zach.
Which the referee has had to concede. What's this? The ball comes out the back. It's knocked on. Referee blows the whistle. Now Seyfarth kicks the ball. Goes dead. Wants to go back to the 20-metre line. And Seyfarth, who must have a law degree, comes back and argues the point. Pretty good for a front rower. And the referee conceded.
Oh, well, I've never seen a ref concede.
Objection, Your Honour.
Alex Seyfarth, KC.
I think it's QC.
It's Kings Council.
Oh, Kings Council. Is it?
Yeah.
Is it really? Did they change? Did they really?
Yes, they do.
Well, there you go. I learn something every day.
I think you'd be more like the lawyer of Rake. Is it Cleaver Green?
Long live the king.
He's the best.
Oh,
Richard Roxburgh, one of the greats.
one of the great actors.
Up together. Back straight, Tommy.
Modelled a bit on you, actually, Cleaver Green. Here's Ben Hunt now. In your old days, maybe. Yeah. Take him on Nofaluma.
This is going to be a good finish. I'm predicting drama at the back end.
Still out.
This game might come down to one big play.
Tommy and Luke Brooks are heading to Manly next year. Toa. Confronted there by Sully and Amone and Billy Burns. 6 out from the halfway. Now Big Stefano's on the ground once again. In the wake of kicks to Matt Feeney. He's seen very little football tonight. And there's a Jareem Buller leading the kick chase. Laurie down there also. He's only a little fella, Dane Laurie, isn't he? But doesn't mind the defence in the front line. Hasn't missed too many tackles. It's been sublime. Ball in hand. Now Ben Hunt. 40-20 attempt on play 3. No winger back.
Great kick.
Hasn't got the angle, but the result's going to be positive for the Dragons here if they can put a tackle on, and Burns does just that. Now Tupou searching for a hat-trick. Gee, that's a great kick by Hunt. Look at the result. The Tigers struggling to get out of their own end here. Oh, gee, that might have been forward. Someone called it. Oh, there's the call. A late one by the referee.
I think he's calling knock on.
Oh, knock on, right.
Yeah.
Same result.
Good opportunity for the Dragons here. When you've got a couple of teams that aren't used to winning all that often, and you've got a close score getting down to the back end, nerves will start to play a part. A little bit of anxiousness, a little bit of desperation. I just got a feeling this is going to be a really good finish.
Haven't seen much of Moses Suli tonight either, have we? Such a weapon on his left side.
Here's Ryan Carr coaching his 8th NRL game up against Tim Sheens coaching his 687th. Just a small gulf of experience. Lomax. And Dan Russell. Stopped by Seyfarth. That's the Tigers' 30-metre line. It goes to Jack DeBellin. Very short pass. Oh, is there a bobble in there? Not one that the referee could detect. That's Couchman. Amone, Billy Burns taps it on over the back.
We're doing the play the ball. We're doing the play. Okay, tram
Some
line.
scratches
Play
on the
ball.
face there.
Play the ball.
Billy.
Ooh.
And wrestling a cat.
Play the ball.
Oh, he's playing the Tigers, isn't he? The Tigers, when Sloan was off, a lot of ball movement. It was really dangerous. Since half-time, they've been quite conservative.
Long deep pass to Seyfarth. Now, there's a change here. Coruscant is going for a spell, and Talon De Silva is into the game. There's a run by Papali'i, barreling his way up over the halfway.
What was the game he was on debut? I think it was at Campbelltown, and he had a howler and some really good signs.
18 years of age, incredible, isn't it? Laurie pops it in the air. Now Papali'i is going to get a tap on it, and is it off? It's still the last. It's still the last tackle, and Stefano is put down.
Hold him in. Hold you.
I just feel like the Tigers have got a little bit more energy. The Dragons are very slow to get set up once they get possession. They sort of all stand around a bunch. See that? They're all standing in a bunch. Now they get a penalty they don't need.
Ravalawa's got a real problem.
Dragons are going nowhere. They're standing in a bunch, all standing still, and they get rewarded with a penalty. Ravalawa.
Oh, that doesn't look good.
Not happy.
You could hit him with a sledgehammer and you wouldn't put him down.
Let's have a look here. Oh, it might be a knee clash, I think. Might have been a knee clash. Bone on bone. Still down. Dragons down to 12. Still down.
They might need a bobcat to get him up.
Well, they're rubbing him with the old-fashioned Denko rub.
Yeah.
Didn't know they still had that.
Tiger Balm.
Nobody knows what a balm can do.
There's Sully.
Play off that. Quick play the ball.
Here's de Bellin trying to weave through the middle of them. Stefano and Papali'i combined in defence. They're down on the 10. First real genuine try-scoring opportunity of the half, and Amone fires the ball out to Fine. Time for Nofaluma to recollect. They're going to drag him over here.
Yeah, good strength. They're so strong, the players these days. You should see the weights they throw around in the gym. Players of all sizes, but they're all really strong. If you can't get to the ground, you watch this. Fige comes back in field. He's well in field. And they just hold him up and drag him and throw him out. Giving that gum a work out, the coach.
There's a big charge. Determined run by Stefano Utoikamanu.
Still no score the second half.
Yeah. Bateman.
And strong Bateman tonight.
Trial for Laurie. So nimble, isn't he? He ducked inside a hunt there before it even caught the ball that time. 12. Backhanded flick to Silva. Played local A grade with his dad last year out at the Campbelltown area.
Oh, that's right. He debuted on that historic night when Alex Twile scored his first try.
That's right.
He played under 17s rep football last year in a premiership winning team for West. He went through undefeated too. It was a hell of a side. Dragons getting a penalty here.
Just right there, Ben.
What was that one for?
High tackle.
That's right there,
Ravalawa
Ben.
was in strife here.
Denko
Ben.
Rub hasn't kicked in yet.
Thank you.
You don't want to put too much of it on.
Mark O'Mealy used to rub it into his bald head.
I might tell you a story in the post game about Adam McDougall one day had this. This wasn't Denker Rub, it was from Chernobyl. This thing burnt. And one of our trainers did something for a laugh. Anyway, I'll tell it in the post game.
Yeah, it's a post 10 o'clock story, that one. Yeah. Here's a Monet. It ends with the paramedics, doesn't it?
Get an ambulance.
I always get nervous when Andrew says, I'm going to tell you a story.
Oh, this one's a beauty.
Oh, it is funny. Laurie now. Oh, dump there.
And there's none of that Denker over the man shakes, I guarantee you.
Here's Ben Hunt. Can he split them open? He's trying. Now to Bellin. Nearly. Oh, he got it away. Oh, well done, Safer. How's that for desperation?
Oh, it's on.
John Bateman's in there. Hunt's in there. Billy Burns is in there. Oh, they're all in there now.
Yeah, this is exactly what I thought would happen. Tension, anxiety, nerves.
Whoa!
Desperation.
Walk away.
Well, Billy's got more scratches on his face now.
Yeah. They need the 2 points, these two teams. What happens here? Jack DeBella nearly scores, pops it out the back, looking for Ben Hunt, can't get it. Seafarth makes the grab. Bateman pushes, Hunt reacts, and now we're on. So Bateman was the aggressor.
So, have we got anything?
She did.
Okay, one here. Tackle one.
Well, there never is anymore. They just push.
Up here. Alex.
I don't know how that got inflamed, is it?
No, Alex.
And Bateman took resentment
Hold there.
to the fact that Ben
Hold there,
Hunt
Toby. Wait.
was
Back
laying
here.
on Wakeham.
Time on.
Well, you know what? The ref, Ben Cummins just said, righto, boys, calm down. Let's get the game back.
Good
No
stuff.
penalty.
Good stuff.
Keep going.
Back out. Toby here.
20 to go. Oh, good run. Really good run.
Yeah, she's all on the line here.
Stefano, inspired charge. Laurie firing it to Talau.
Too, he's enjoying playing with Dane Laurie. It's Tommy Talau.
Off to Manly next year, Tommy Talau.
Laurie again. What a ball. Tupou down the sideline. Buller's backing up. He tries the kick again. It didn't quite work that time.
Dane Laurie doubling up on short sides. Beautiful pass first off to Tommy Talau. And then double up on his play and hit his winger. Great play.
Now Moses Surley. Well, they do have a crop of emerging players, the West Tigers, but Dane Laurie's caught plenty of attention tonight.
Well, he's just catching and firing it to his centre. There he is. In the modern game where centres rarely get any early clean ball, Tommy Talau's loving playing outside Dane Laurie.
And Hunt, midfield bomb almost. Good take by Tupou. And Lomax always physical. Down in his grill as he caught the ball. Jareen Buller, no points in the second half. You thought it was going to open up. It might yet. 18 and a bit to go. Starting Sunday on 9, N9 now, our Aussie Dolphins swim for gold at the World Aquatic Championships live from Fukuoka, Japan. Don't miss 8 massive days of World Championship swimming starting this Sunday, exclusive to Nine's Wide World of Sports, and day one, a race not to be missed. It's probably the best women's 400 freestyle ever assembled. Ariane Titmus of Australia versus the great Katie Ledecky versus the new world record holder, the 16-year-old Summer McIntosh from Canada.
No, he's always inside the 10.
He still looks inconvenienced, Ravalawa. They've got a big knee pad on him now. And he looked a bit awkward taking that ball.
Let's clean it up, Tigers. Clean it up.
22 minutes gone, no score in the second half.
Defence has been deficient for both clubs throughout the campaign, but
Talent, 1 foot out.
a low scorer here tonight. There's Francis Marlowe back on the ground. Cabellin, dummies, takes on the line. Bateman and Tuikamanu put him to ground on the 30-metre line. It goes to Ben Hunt. It goes to Amone. Russell Back against the grain. There's young De Silva.
Tommy, right back. Line him up.
Helped by Bateman. Now Little. He can run from dummy half. And he distributes to Amone, who dummied to Sloan. He ducks and can't weave it through. Last tackle. What's Ben Hunt got coming by way of a kick here? He's going to pass instead. Sloan, Lomax. Oh, good tackle, almost. Lomax with a speculator out the back, and what a try to rubber lower. Lomax so strong to hold off the tackle, and sublime skill.
That might be one of the best passes I've ever seen. He makes things happen, Zach Lomax. Watch this. Watch this. Harvey Norman replay. Bang, he's jammed. He gets back. He pushes away. Now watch this. Look at that. Look at that. That's brilliant.
One of the great balls by Lomax.
It was the Gidley flick with the John Cartwright around the corner ball. I don't think I've ever seen a pass like this.
He's come alive in the last couple of weeks, Zach Lomax.
Well, he's getting more ball.
Huh. Oh, that's too good.
And Big McKaylee shakes off the sore knee. He's untapped, Lomax. Absolutely untapped.
I'm not sure if there's been a decision made on whether he'll be at the club next year.
Talking to Paul McGregor, who coached him. He said, great trainer, great attitude, the fittest at the club. You could play him anywhere.
Beautiful strike. Gorgeous strike. Well, Zach Lomax has got his goal-kicking radar back. That was a great kick to ice off just a magnificent bit of play. 18-14, it took 25 minutes after half-time.
One of the best passes I've ever seen.
Watch the crowd. Someone in the crowd, look at that kid's got his hand on his head. He can't believe it.
That is why you go to the footy. So the Dragons playing with the lead here, 18-14. Laurie, Little at acting half, and Hunt kicking towards the wing of Tupou. Just sense there's got to be more points in this.
I'm telling you, it will end with drama.
And Laurie, he's been brilliant.
Well, he's the man for the Tigers. Him and Buller, get them together, playing together. They've got some magic.
Wakeham, here's Buller. Good hands on. Nopaluma won't have the speed to outpace the sliding defence of Sully. Wakeham. Clemmer now.
The ball had to go wide there.
Right back.
Now there's a few coming through here. It's sort of a head. I don't know what it came off, but it's back to Jareen Buller anyway. And he throws the left boot on it. Napi's coming through after it. Lomax has got to make a play at it.
Now this kick by Buller is off the left foot. I dare say we've seen him kick with his right foot. This might be off his non-dominant foot because he's running that way. Look at that for skill.
And again, Lomax there. How's the game, Zach Lomax? Here come the Tigers. This might be one of the very few sets of 6 they've had in attacking zones tonight at this end of the field.
Stefano with a thunderous run. He's charged it up hard tonight. Clemmer played at 19 out. Stefano playing at the back to Wakeham. Now the ball, was that knocked out? No, they played it an arm again and they've turned the ball over.
Yeah, just a little slow there, and Billy Burns makes the grab.
Ball's got to go to Laurie. Just throwing the ball.
Another run for Lomax. He's getting up near 200 running metres. 22 runs of the ball tonight, Zach Lomax. Huge effort. And Russell out at right back row. Put down by Talau. Francis Molo. Play number 5. Ravalawa running through. So too Lomax. Oh, it was pinched beautifully there by Tupou over the top. Lomax thought it was about to land in his lap. He's dropped the ball.
And there's no challenge.
There's no challenges left.
No, he's walking at the moment. He's lost that. Where would you like it?
10 minutes to go. They can take a giant leap forward here, the Dragons.
Streamlights.
Gee, it was a spectacular catch. But it amounts to nothing.
Trying to plant it too early. They're the little things that make a difference.
10 to go. Another one makes it hard to chase. Blake Laurie on through to Bellin. It goes now to Francis Molo within 11 metres of the Tigers line. Pavali'i wrapped him up. Jacob Little, he's gone the whole journey tonight, playing at dummy half, and away to Laurie once again. There's a Wollongong boy, Blake Laurie. I'm on it.
It's his strength. Running game.
Haven't asked too many questions on the first 4 tackles of this set. Ben Hunt, Jack de Bellin, away to Molo. Molo with all his power. Put it to the 2 little men. Buller and Laurie. Stopped him from scoring. Hunt now threads the needle. Buller gets back there.
Ready here. What's the ball?
4 points the difference. Do they go for the short dropout? Try to get the ball back.
Yeah, Abby does these really special short dropouts where he hits them sort of straight, not to the corner. How delayed he is on the kick. Lets the ball bounce and go right up. And this hits him straight.
Oh, it's gone. Oh, well done to Bellin.
What a great dropout.
I'm on it. The game could swing on this set if the Tigers can knock the Dragons back. They remain alive. Should the Dragons score, it's going to be very difficult for the West Tigers. That's not the best result. Ben Hunt. And And now Molo have used 4 tackles already. Out for the Hunt and over to Sloan.
Dane Laurie again.
Great
Hold him,
defence.
man. Back with me. Front feet out.
Great defence.
Francis.
So he played all his juniors in the half.
The highlights tapes that I saw as a young teenager. He was only slight, so they put him to full back just to protect him, but as he's grown and become more confident, more seasoned, he's making a real fist of it up there at 5'8". Always believed he was a 5'8".
Bateman. Starting Saturday, catch every game from every round of the NRLW. Live and free on Nines Wide World of Sports. 4 new teams, 5 epic clashes every weekend. There is so much footy here on the home of Rugby League. The NRLW back, and it's all on Nines Wide World of Sports. Here's the last. Here's Laurie distributing once again, and Talau tries to roll it in. Sloan.
Whoa, what's he going back there for?
What did he go back for? That was... That's bizarre.
He was in the field of play when he got it and ran back into the dead. Why did he do that? I don't understand. Kick, catch, and run back into the end goal. Where's he going? Why?
On your run.
I'm very confused.
10 seconds, Toro.
You're not the only one. Here he comes, big Clem, boom!
Here come the Tigers.
It's now or never, you reckon, for the West Tigers. Crucial for both these clubs that they win. They're trying to avoid the dreaded spoon. Dane Laurie, 18 out from St George Illawarra's line now. Clemmer, Molo, and Couchman, the 2 defenders there. Coruscant, always dangerous. Big Stefano. Oh, well done. Sloan got up around the ball.
They're short on their right. Oh, dear.
Just tangled up. Wait there, Stefano. Stefano.
Still short on the right.
Referee stopped the clock.
No, mate. Wait there. Uppy, last one.
Wakeham out to Bateman. One little dribbling kick in behind. And the Dragons got the ball back on. I don't know if Bateman had a case that he was held off it after he kicked it there, but he's not arguing. Oh, here's the Tigers. Are up fast. They will be going all out to force an error. Fine, good charge.
Great one. Here's the kick from Bateman.
Well, the Dragons are now in protection mode. They've got a 4-point lead. They don't win often, but they're trying to get to the finish line. 4 minutes to go.
They've done well to run into trouble. And Hunt. Not the deepest of kicks. The clock's the enemy now for the Tigers. Who's going to spark them? Well, it's got to be Dane Laurie. Can he set something up from long range?
Well, they've got one in them. You just feel it. Only 1 try in the second half.
Oh, good tackle. Mamone feasts on Nofaluma. Here's Stafford Toa. Where's Moses Mbai? I haven't seen him until now. 3 plays down, over to Wakeham. Now Laurie out to Pavali'i. He wanted to pass. He decided not to. Have used 4. Short side. Here's Laurie. Oh, Talau. He wanted to get it straight to the winger, but he didn't catch it.
Well, that was great play from Dane Laurie. And it's great principle-based footy as a half. He played short to his back rower, Isaiah Papali'i. He got Hunt involved in the tackle and doubled up down a short side. But there's a 3-on-2. Unfortunately, the ball goes down. But that's really smart play. That's how you play rushing defence. Look to go wide, play to your back rower, get in behind him, and then double up down a short side. He's found his spot, Dane Laurie. 5/8's his spot.
And he's leaving.
It's been a long time between premiership points for the Dragons. 2 wins in their last 13 games. They've been spared. The victory song has been sparingly sung in 2023. Hunt with a towering kick, which Nofaluma takes and then offloads. Oh, that was neat work. Then Buller and away to Tupou. He beat one. It was Lomax Ravalawa with a huge tackle.
There's been a head clash. If there's one melon you don't want to collide with, it's Michaeli Ravalawa.
We're under 2 minutes. They're going to have to go the distance here.
Oh. And then gets the knee on the way down. It's a double whammy. Gets the head clash and then gets the accidental. Oh, no, gets an open hander coming down. All accidental.
Can they fashion a miracle win? There's the duck and run. Corus out. He's felled by DeBellin in the end. Two props combining. Clemmer to Stefano. They've only got 2 tackles left. They may not get the ball back after this. Dane Laurie over to Papali'i. Talau comes infield. Wakeham, flick pass, Uppy, up she goes. Nofaluma's trying to get through. Fide with a pressure catch.
Yeah, great take. And that just might get them home as we go in under the last minute. Failing a one-on-one strip or a drop ball, the Dragons should get home. They're very bunched. They don't want to drop it. Look at them.
Couchman. 4 tackles used. Well, if they kick it out, it will be. I don't think the Tigers are going to get the ball back here. They might get 1 long-range play at best. They haven't really travelled anywhere on this set. The Dragons. Hunt bangs it up. Well, they are going to get 1, maybe 2 chances. Buller with the take. And Tupou. This has to be it right here. The Dragons have 1 play to withstand. Laurie kicks ahead. And Toa is getting through there, but Sloane's back to retrieve the ball, and the Saints go marching in Wollongong.
Well, a 6-0 second half. The coach breathes a sigh of relief. The Dragons leave the Tigers a little further behind on the ladder. And the home side gets the spoils. Zach Lomax, brilliant game. Very influential, even though he's playing out in the centres.
3 tries all. It was goal kicking that was the difference in the end. Dragons 18, Tigers 14 in Thursday night footy.